Hi, everybody. It is Skip Clark. How are you? Look at that. We're at a ballpark tonight. Hey, what's up, man? You're listening to Skip Happens. Of course, I'm your host, Skip Clark, and tonight I am coming to you live. Let me get a good shot here. Oop, that's Reese. He's with us, but look at this. Nope, look at that.
That's
the ballpark.
The better shot. There we go.
Yeah, that's cool. Isn't that cool?
Yes, sir.
We are live
cool
at NBT Bank Stadium, and you know what? This is going to be great. I love shining the light on these rising stars in country music, and tonight's guest is no exception. He's a small town guy. He's got a big sound. He's born and raised in the backwoods of Orlando, Florida. Well, I found out now it was actually a little bit of Buffalo, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
We'll talk about that. With a story that's going to knock your boots off, a pre-mixed biology degree.
Yes, sir. Pre-med. Yes, sir.
And you're doing music. All right, we'll talk about that too.
We'll get into that.
And all the noise in the background. Did you hear that one? Yeah, okay. And you did 4 years of college basketball.
Yes, sir.
And who did you play for?
I played for Houghton College, a little bit south of Buffalo.
I love that.
Yes,
I love that. And you could have gone in so many different directions, but music pulled you in, and thank God it did.
Yes,
I just want y'all to say hi to my new friend. It's Reese. I keep looking down, but the camera's right over there. Right. How are you, brother? It's good to see you.
Good to see you, too. I'm happy to be here.
You know, when you come on Skip Happens, I got to tell you, it's an experience.
All right.
Is it? I mean, look where you are. Look,
I'm ready for it.
I mean, look at that view, the ballpark and all that.
We don't get this every day. This is cool.
No. How many other places have you been that somebody has actually done this in the ballpark?
Never. This is a first. This is a first.
I love that.
Groundbreaking today.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about you.
Yes, sir. So like you mentioned, I'm from Orlando, Florida.
Okay.
And I went to school up here about an hour south of Buffalo. Played basketball, like you mentioned. Graduated with my degree in biology. Obviously, I'm not doing anything with biology right now. I was supposed to be a dentist, actually.
Really?
I'm not cleaning teeth.
I'm sorry, but I think that's gross. I don't know how people do that. I mean, I brush my teeth and floss every day.
For some reason, I've always been like a teeth guy. First thing I'm always looking at teeth. But so I graduated, supposed to be a dentist, and didn't work out. I didn't get into any school, so I took a gap year, and I started playing small bars up in New York. Actually, I started in New York, and then moved down to Florida. Started playing in Florida a little bit solo. And then started the band thing. We've been traveling ever since. It's been a blast. I've been really enjoying it.
So, but you're in Orlando now, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, based in Orlando, but I haven't been home in probably a month.
Really? Yeah, well, you've been out on what they call a radio tour.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And how has this been? Is it early mornings? So you have to go in and do morning shows?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Actually, this morning it was 3 a.m. We got up and started driving. So it's been early morning, but it's worth it. I mean, I enjoyed it. It's awesome talking to people like you. It's an awesome time. So
well, it's a pleasure.
But there's nobody like you. There's nobody like you. That's right.
No, and nobody is going to put you in a ballpark like this.
That's right. There's nothing like this.
Nothing like that. Yeah, I know. That's what we're going to do, and that's why it's always an experience.
Yes,
but what did music look like in your life growing up in Orlando?
Yes, sir. So I actually started when I was about 5 years old. My grandma forced me to take piano lessons, and I got kicked out of every piano teacher's class that I ever took because I couldn't read music and I wanted to only play by ear. And then I took lessons till I was about 9, 10. And then I didn't really do much with music outside of like a couple things in high school. And then I picked it back up when I was a senior in college and I started playing piano kind of as like a party trick. And then from then I picked up guitar off YouTube and it kind of went from there.
I love it. So, I'm still kind of stuck on this biology thing.
Yes, sir.
How did you went from biology to basketball?
Yes, sir.
And how did you land on country music as the dream that you wanted to go after?
Yeah, so I've always grown up listening to country music, things like Kenny Chesney and Alan Jackson. Those are kind of some big influences. So country music has always been there. I never really saw myself as being an artist in any means. I was always nervous to sing in front of people at all until about right when I was about to graduate college, really. And so always played sports growing up. Actually, my dad's here today with us. He's standing over there. He was my coach growing up. Played basketball, football, a little bit of baseball.
Did you play a forward because you're tall?
No, I actually played guard. In college, I actually wasn't as tall as.
All right.
Yeah, it's the boots. The boots are lying right now.
They're
making me taller than I am. But yeah, I played college basketball, high school basketball. We actually won a state championship my senior year, so that was a good time. So basketball's always been big thing in my life as well. So
I love it. You still play today? You get out?
I dabble. I mean, probably not as much as I should, but I like getting out there with my buddies.
Tell me about if I was to go to a Reese show.
Yes, sir.
How would that be? What would be my experience? You're having an experience here tonight, and I'm going to keep saying that.
Yes, sir.
But if I went to your show, your experience for me would be what?
I would say a lot of energy. We have a lot of fun up on stage, like kind of like we're doing right now. We're just kind of off the cuff, and we have a lot of fun up on stage. The guys I travel with are awesome. I actually travel with my brother as well, so that's kind of a cool dynamic there. He plays with me. He actually just graduated from a school not too far from here in Alfred, New York.
Oh yeah, my son-in-law is a football coach there.
No way.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, my brother graduated from Alfred State over there, and then yeah, so it's a lot of energy. I would say every place we go, we try to make it our best show yet, and just keep improving everywhere we go, and just have a lot of fun. That's all you can do.
You know, when they talk about Reese, they talk about new country.
Yes, sir.
And what makes new country different?
Yeah, I think it's just the incorporation of some like the newer styles. Like a lot of my songs have some 808s in them, which is kind of different from a lot of different traditional country, I would say.
What do you mean by 808?
So like kind of the heavier hip hop kind of beats.
Okay.
Yeah. So some of that. Not all my songs have that, but I think that's kind of incorporated into some of it because I just think, I mean, country music's awesome because I always say country music's coming back, but I think truly it is. I think it's always evolving, and that's what makes country so cool. Like even the 90s stuff is coming back with the Zach Tops and that kind of stuff. So I think country music is always evolving. I think there's always room for different niches inside of country music.
I love Zach Top. By the way.
Yeah. So do I.
That style and the way it's all going around. It's all coming back.
Yes, sir.
There's also an artist, Caitlin Butts. I don't know.
Oh
if you know
yeah.
Caitlin.
She has that. She's going viral right now on like social media.
You don't have to. You don't have to die to be dead.
To me.
You don't. Exactly.
Yeah.
We actually play that on the Wolf.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Yeah, we just started with that because it's huge. So you're talking about new country, but all right. So your songwriting as it pertains to new country. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff I write about, I would say probably 95% of what I write about is just experiences that I've had growing up, like especially the Roots song. Just growing up back home in Florida, getting in trouble with my brother, probably more than I should. So stuff, just experiences. And honestly, a lot of times, like the hooks, a lot of people say this, like a lot of writers, but people will be talking in conversation like this, and I'll hear something, I'll be like, dang, that could be a country song right there. So I think, I get a lot of different influences just from my family and friends and whatnot.
It's all about life.
That's
what country music is. I mean, you could be driving down the road and there it is. That's a country song.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. But your love, loss, or late night bonfires, is that what inspires your songwriting?
Yeah, with a lot of bonfires back home. I had a couple of relationships in the past. Maybe that has some influence.
That's kind of where I was going.
Yeah, I had some relationships in the past. Definitely have some influence in some of my sad songs. But yeah, the bonfires with my buddies, that's kind of where I get a lot of inspiration too. Just the talks out there that we have with my family and my friends back home. And even up here, I have a lot of friends up here still. So actually, I just met with my buddy for dinner. He, shout out to Mike. He goes to, oh my gosh, the medical school up here. I forget what it's
Upstate?
called. No, that might be upstate.
It's Upstate Medical University.
Yeah, that might be it. Actually, yeah.
And it's one of the best in the country.
That's awesome. Yeah, he's going to med school up here, and I'm super proud of him. So he was one of my college buddies. So
is he saying like you should have stuck with the other major?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, he's happy for me, and he's sticking it out too. I mean, I think there's pros and cons to both. He's like, dude, you're out there living it, and I was like, yeah. Well, sometimes I'm like, I kind of miss the schooling part of it, but
yeah. But you know what? You're young. You told me you were 24.
Yes, sir.
So you're still young enough. You're giving this a go because you have a lot of passion and you're dedicated to your craft. But if for whatever reason, and it's a tough road, if it doesn't work out, at least you got something else to fall back on.
Yeah, got that piece of paper. That's what I always like to say. As I try to convince my mom, like I always got that piece of paper. So.
What's mom think about all this?
Yeah, I mean,
and a shout out to mom, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to mom.
I think she's watching.
Both of my parents are super supportive. I don't want to act like they're not supportive. They are super supportive. Yes. Obviously, they just want me to be happy, and I'm obviously super passionate about the music stuff, and they're happy that if I'm happy. Obviously, it's hard to tell your parents like, I'm not going to go to dental school, by the way. But
after all that money,
right. But yeah, it's been good so far.
I love that. Your live performance, your audience connection, how does that work for you? You get up, do you connect with everybody that's watching you, that's listening to you?
Reese? Like we talked about earlier, just like what do you expect to come to my show? I think just the high energy and trying to make it, whether how big the room is or whatever, you want it to make it as intimate as possible. And I think that's a big thing for us. I think it's a big focal point is just trying to make it a connection. That's what it is at the end of the day. You're just trying to connect to whether it's one person or 50 people or 100 people or 1,000 people, you're just trying to make that connection.
Tell me about some of the other artists that you've had the opportunity to share the stage with.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I mean, it's been a wide variety. So the first people that we opened for was actually Sister Hazel. So that's kind of outside
Sister
of country.
Christian?
Sister Hazel. So,
No. But did they do a song? Maybe I'm thinking it's somebody else. Never mind. Go ahead.
They might have. That could be wrong.
It was before your time. But go ahead. All right.
Yeah. So we opened for Sister Hazel. They were kind of big in the 90s. And then we've actually had the chance to be in the same festival as Eric Church and
whoa. Eric Church,
same festival as Eric Church, Noah Kahan. So that was cool. We put it on a little side stage, and it was the same festival. It was awesome.
Dude,
cool experience. Really
you're
cool
there.
Yes, sir.
Were you like, holy crap, I'm really doing this?
Yeah, I mean, to make that first post about it, kind of telling my family and friends, like, hey, this is what's going on. They were like, oh my gosh, Eric Church. Even still to this day, I'm like, yeah, that's pretty cool. So, and then we're actually opening for Joe Nichols next month. In actually August, beginning of August.
By the way.
Yeah,
Love Joe. We've had him here for a couple of shows.
That's awesome.
Never a bad time.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. We're playing at the Grizzly Rose out there in Colorado, so that'll be a great time. So I'm super excited about that, getting out there. So,
yeah. How do you stay grounded?
I would say just having the support system around me that I have. Like my parents, they're super supportive, and they've always kind of just, whether it's kept me in check or lifted me up when I needed lifting up, I think that's important. And my brother, like I said, he travels with me, and I think having that family support system around you and the bandmates I travel with are great kids.
I love that.
They're great kids, and I feel like we make each other better every time we go out there and play. I think that's the most important thing. So.
I love that. I looked online and I saw that you had a tour bus.
Yes, sir. I do have a tour bus.
You bought a tour bus.
Yes, sir. Well,
it's an older model.
It is an older model.
And I love it because it's that throwback.
Yeah, it's got some character to it. That's what I like to say.
Whole lot of character.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we bought that I bought that out of Houston. It was a fixer-upper. Had a lot of water damage, so we brought it back, fixed it up. And
yeah, but you got it cheap.
Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah, got it pretty cheap.
I mean.
Got it pretty cheap out of Houston, and we worked on it for about 2 months. Me, my dad, and a couple of my buddies. Actually, one of my best buds back home, Cole, he's an electrician, so that helped out a lot. So we had some people here and there that helped us out. But yeah, it's on the road, and we travel in it almost full time.
Who drives it?
Mostly my dad and a little bit of me. So
I see him sitting over there. I think he's listening.
He's listening a little bit.
Is he focused on the phone?
Once he gets to this part, he's gonna be
yep. I know because of the delay.
Yeah. He's gonna get to it.
I see that. He's not even paying attention right now. So
he's locked in.
He's locked in. He's locked in. He's a good man to be with you.
Yes, sir.
He's a good man. He's a good dad. There's no doubt about that.
No doubt.
No doubt. If you let's talk about collaborations. If you could collaborate with anybody. Come on. I know everybody must ask you this.
Yes, sir.
I don't know.
Yes, sir.
Everybody must.
I would say, all time, I would say Alan Jackson. He's not touring anymore, but I love Alan Jackson.
Oh, my gosh.
One of my favorites.
That sound, too.
Yes, sir. I know it's 90s, and a lot of my songs don't kind of reflect the 90s stuff, but that's what I grew up on, and I think he's like an idol of mine. Kind of to the newer side, I would say probably a Morgan Wallen or Bailey Zimmerman. I think those are some guys that I kind of like to model my newer country sound after. And I mean, they're both making it big right now, and they're doing it the right way. And
yeah, you know what I like? I listen to your music, and what I really like about that is the fact it's you. You're not sounding like somebody else.
Right.
This is Reese.
Yes, sir.
You want Reese? This is what you're going to get.
Yes, sir.
You don't sound like Morgan. You're not. I definitely don't sound like a Luke Combs or anybody like that. And there's a lot of other artists out there that have that similar sound.
Agreed.
And I don't really think that's a good thing.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yes, sir.
So how often are you in Nashville?
We go there about once a month, sometimes more. We do a lot of the original showcases. So we had the chance to play Whiskey Jam, which is an awesome opportunity. We played that twice now. We played at Category 10. We played at Luke Combs Bar last time we were in town. We played Losers. That's always a fun one. So we try to do like the original showcases. Every once in a while, I'll pick up a gig on Broadway, do the Aldean's thing or something like that. But I try to stay off of Broadway. I don't know. I feel like we travel enough playing some of those kind of shows. So, and you can only play Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy so many times. And you can only see so many bachelorette parties asking for the same songs.
Oh my God!
Right.
Last time my wife and I were in Nashville, we did whatever we had to do during the day, and it was like went back to the hotel and I said, "Come on, hey, we're gonna take a walk down now.
Right.
We'll go to Broadway." Mistake.
Yeah, it's always a mistake. You're like, oh, come on, let's go for
don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing it, and it just. There were so many people, so many bachelorette parties, lines to get in every bar. It was just crazy. It was just crazy.
We like to go to Nashville for like 2-3 days max. We're in Nashville out for a little bit, and we'll come back. And
what's it like? You said you played some of the honky tonks on Broadway, though.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So what's it like to play one of those bars?
A lot of requests. We're taking a lot of requests. A lot of the same songs.
The tip jar out front, and
tip jar. Yeah,
$100, and I'll play Friends in Low Places.
Right. And I'm not trying to bash because I have
no,
a lot of friends that do
not
it.
exactly.
But yeah, I think it can get a little mundane at times. You're playing a lot of the same songs, and but I mean, it's a good time regardless. You're getting to play in front of people. The good thing about playing on Broadway is you see a lot of new faces. So I will say that there's always like transient people coming through, and you're making a following that way. There's always a way to build your brand, I guess. But
I have to ask you, how do you handle your social media?
I've been actually getting a lot better at that. When I first started, I was kind of like not anti-social media, but
dude, you realize that's where everything is right now.
No, I completely agree.
Crazy.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I'm pretty active on my socials, especially in the past year. When I first started, I just didn't know any better. Like started out with music, and I was like, oh, I don't really know how to kind of operate. And now I'm realizing, like you said, almost everything is run through social media, almost entirely.
I'm not bashing websites because I have one as well,
Right.
and I know you do too.
Yes,
but how many people really go to a website now,
right,
as opposed to going to their Facebook or TikTok or their Insta?
Yeah, I agree. A lot of times they're going to the website from
X.
the social media. So
yeah, exactly. That's crazy. You do it all yourself, though?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
When do you find time to do that?
Throughout the day. I mean,
luckily, you're on the road.
Yes,
so
sir.
Maybe.
And luckily, all my shows are kind of towards the weekend, so we're playing Thursday, Friday, Saturday usually. So it's during the week, like my Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's time to sit down and kind of lock in and be like, here's, plan it out and get some content out.
Taco Man's up. You can hear it in the background.
Taco.
Exactly. Now, if he, by the way, if he strikes out, we all get free tacos at Taco Bell.
Oh.
Yeah. So you get a free beef taco. You got 48 hours to redeem it, but you're heading out tonight.
That's awesome.
Here, yeah.
Taco.
So everybody's going taco, but that's what it's about. But it's the fun of being at a ballpark.
Yeah, this is awesome. This is cool.
Yeah, I keep going to the shot with that other camera. And it's just that's what it looks like. It looks like there's very little people here, but the parking lot is full.
Yeah, there's a lot of people here. We were walking around. Yeah. We were agreeing. My dad and I, we were like, this is one of the better, probably one of the best minor league kind of stadiums that we've ever been in. For sure.
So tell me about minor league baseball. I mean, you're a sports guy. I'm played a sports guy. Basketball. I get that. But yes, do you get to go to some of your minor league baseball games?
I don't get to go to a whole lot of baseball games. Okay. I actually went to my grandma back home in Orlando. She's a huge Magic fan. So we try to go to some Magic games. We actually went to the game right before they went to the playoffs. So that was pretty cool to take her to those. So I'm a Magic fan. I'm a Bucks fan as well as a Bills fan. I know that's kind of hard, but they're in different divisions.
Wait a minute. Bills is... And
yeah, I know.
Dude.
Here's what I like to say. I said if I'm not if the Bucks aren't playing the Bills, I'm rooting for the Bills. If not, I'm rooting for the Bucks. So
what about the Panthers? Look what they just did.
I know, it's pretty crazy. I'm not a huge hockey fan, but I did follow them actually in the playoffs. It's pretty cool. We actually play a lot down in Fort Lauderdale, Delray area down there in Florida. So the huge following down there. So it's awesome.
So you're talking about being in Orlando,
yes, sir,
as well as Nashville, but being in Orlando, are you close to Disney?
I am.
Everywhere close to Disney.
Everywhere is close to Disney. Actually, that's a conflict of interest, though. So my mom works at Universal, so that's yeah. But they actually opened a new park, so I had a chance to go in there the other day before it opened, kind of like a VIP treatment of some sorts. But yeah, so we grew up going to Universal a lot. I've been to Disney a couple times, so I mean it's hard to miss it.
Yeah,
it's like right there, like you said, everything's close, right there.
Everything's right
Universal,
there. Epcot,
Disney,
Universal, Disney,
everything's right there. Yes, sir.
It's been a while since I've been there.
You got to come down.
Yeah, well, I don't have to. The weather's like that here now.
It is nice. It feels like Florida right now.
I know.
Nice.
It's in the humidity and all. Yeah, this is Florida.
Yes, sir.
This is definitely Florida. If you weren't doing what you're doing, what do you think you would be doing? I mean, I know you've got those degrees, but
outside of dentistry, I guess, because that's probably the easy answer. That's the easy answer. Yeah. That's a good question. I would still say probably something in music if I wasn't doing something dentistry wise. I just love being around the music and the people involved with it. And so maybe like an agent of some sort, or I don't know.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I just love the music industry. I think it's, especially being in it now, I can kind of see like the people are great no matter where you go, and meet a lot of new people, which is cool.
And the radio tour that you're on,
yes, sir.
How has that been?
Good. It's definitely been like an adjustment. I'm not, like I said, this is kind of, I think this is my 6th or 7th one that I've done. But every single one, I feel like I'm getting a little bit more comfortable.
7th radio station.
Yes, sir.
Oh, wow. Yes. We're early on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
with the experience.
Yes, sir. This is awesome. Yeah. I know. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to top this. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, the whole idea is, of course, I have a pod zone, and my plan was to have you over into my own studio, and we
Right.
would have done it there. But we
Can't beat
follow the Mets,
Yeah.
and we are the AAA affiliate of the New York Mets. So I said, what could I do? I want to be at the game. Light went off, bell went off. I said, we're going to do it at the
Kill two birds with
stadium.
one stone. Yeah.
So
There you go.
obviously I have a little bit of a connection here, and I
Right.
said, Jason, can I? And he said, absolutely.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm glad we made it out here. This is awesome. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Can you? What about some crazy times? Something you get up on stage and this happened, and you can't believe that happened, or maybe you're on your own little bus and I shouldn't call it little, it's pretty big, but you're doing your thing, and just something stick out in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like every show has, there's something that happens. Trying to think. Well, the other day we were playing a show, and they were making, for some reason, there was a balloon animal artist in the venue we were playing. Okay. So they were like making balloon animals, and so people were like wearing balloon animals on their heads, and they were like giving them to us. So we were wearing balloon animals. I'm like, what is going on right now? I'm like up on stage playing, and people are like, put this giraffe on your head. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. But, so yeah, there's some crazy stuff that goes on. But
yeah, I know things you will always remember.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Especially
doesn't matter how far you go.
The people I travel with, like I said, are awesome, and so it just makes it well worthwhile.
All right. So let me maybe I already mentioned this, but when did you actually start playing again? How long ago was that?
So
because you're 24 now. So.
Yes, sir. So it was I think my first show ever was March of 2023.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
And you were a wreck.
I was very nervous. Yes, I will tell you that. So actually, I filled in. Funny enough, I filled in for one of my friends who plays in the Western New York area, and she was like, "Hey, I have a sore throat and I can't sing. I need you to come fill in for 3 hours." And I was like, "I've never sang in front of anybody in my life, and you want me to get up there and sing for 3 hours?" I was like, "I don't know." So I started calling everybody I knew. I was like, "Dad, Mom, do you think I should get up there and sing?" They're like, "Do it." I was
exactly.
Like, all right. So I told her, I was like, I'll do it. I'll muster up 3 hours worth of songs.
Do you remember who that was?
Who I covered for?
Who you were covering?
Yeah,
for?
Brianna Blankenship.
Okay,
Brianna Blankenship.
Yes,
yep.
Yes, and
good.
Also Claudia Heuser. Do you know
Claudia?
I
know Claudia.
Yes,
really, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's why I was asking. I know them both.
Yeah, so, they're awesome. Both awesome people. So.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
So Brianna's a good friend of mine, and she was like, "Yeah, come up and play." So since then, we've had a great friendship, and yes, sir, it's been awesome.
Awesome. I'm watching somebody walk behind us.
Oh.
Let's see if we can get him on camera. There he is.
There
it's
he
back
is.
of his head.
He's going to save us from the foul ball.
You're going to do a little play-by-play.
And he is looking to the right. And what does he see here?
Yeah, he walked right behind you.
What do you think his name is?
Jack.
Jack. Are you have insight?
No. Is your name Jack? What's your name? What's your name?
Zick.
Oh, it's far from Jack.
We were off.
Sorry, we thought you were a Jack. Oh, that's Zig. So, anyways, Zig's enjoying the game. There he is. Now we got the full shot.
There he is. Come on.
There you go. Let's go Mets. You're right. That's what it's about. We're going to make you a Mets fan, by the way.
All right. By the end of this, I probably will be.
So tell me, what do you do for fun? I know you got sports, you got all that. But do you fish? Do you hunt?
A lot of boating. I love to be on the lake boating.
In Florida?
Yes, sir.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I know. We get it like 11 months out of the year. Right? Up here, you get about 2-3 months.
No, 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, especially this year.
We're in the middle of it right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I actually worked at a marina for 3 years up here while I was in school. So I actually didn't go home for like 5 years.
Dude.
But it was awesome. It was a great summer job. And so I learned a lot more about boats than I probably needed to know. But I was always on the lake, and I kind of love it. So I've always loved being on the lake and hanging out with my family and friends. And
tell me about the single. What are you pushing to radio right now? Tell me all about that.
I'm pushing Roots right now. And I know we talked a little bit about just growing up in Florida. And yeah, I think it sounds different than anything I've ever done. I actually think it sounds different than a lot of stuff that's on radio right now, which I think is a big sticking point I'd like to push. Really proud of it. The first thing I've ever really promoted. So definitely super proud of it.
Yeah. Have you heard it on the radio?
I actually heard it for the first time on the radio today. So
and what happened?
My eyes lit up because I'm like, it sounds different on the radio. Everybody says that. They're like, it sounds different on the radio. I was like, nah. And I listen on the radio. I was like, it does sound different on the radio. It's awesome.
Why?
Cool. I don't know what it is. I mean,
it's a produced version. Maybe that's
maybe, yeah. Or maybe it's just like coming from something other than just your phone. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. It's just something different. Like somebody else is playing it, not you. So.
I've talked to other artists, and I'd be like, "So, what was it like when you first heard your song played on the radio?" I screamed, I slammed on the brakes, I had to pull over, I started crying, I called my mom.
Yeah, it was about that. My dad was in the car, and he was actually recording it. He was like, "This is awesome." I was like, "This is awesome." So it was a cool experience to have it with my dad and in the car, and he was kind of a part of it. So, yes, sir.
Very, very, very cool. So, what's next?
Working on some new music, writing some new music. Actually, we were talking a little bit before this. But I wrote with CJ Solar a couple of weeks ago, and great guy.
Love CJ.
Yes,
he's been on Skip Happens.
That's
but
awesome.
Here we go. He's never had this experience.
That's right. I know.
Other artists are going to see this because I talk to a lot of them, and they're going to go, "I want to do that."
That's right. I feel special right now. I appreciate it.
Well, you are special. You made the trip just to come in and say hello and be on the podcast, and so I could find out a little more about you as well.
Sir.
Which is all a plus.
Yes, sir.
That's cool. I love it.
Good.
I love it, dude. So what do you drive at home when you're not driving the bus? I know you don't drive the bus, but
I got a Jeep. I got a Jeep Wrangler.
Nice.
Sitting at home right now, waiting for me to get back.
I bet you. Do you pop the top?
Yes, sir. Especially in Florida, it's a good time.
Yeah. But is it too hot to do that?
You time it right. Especially in the afternoons, it gets real nice. It's not too sunny. I think in the middle of the day it might get a little hot. But
you have to worry about gators out cutting the grass. What grass you have? Or
there are gators in Orlando. Not necessarily where we're at, but yeah, there are a lot of gators down there. A lot of wildlife. I would say a lot of snakes and that kind of things of that nature. A lot of spiders down there, but.
So you got Roots coming out, but is there an EP that's going to be with that? Is it just a single? What are we doing? Yeah,
as of right now, that's just a single. I'm actually thinking about. I wrote my first song ever. I wrote was called "Mama's Boy." I wrote it for my mom, and I released it on Mother's Day. But I didn't really know what I was doing at the time. I was kind of on my laptop with a cheap mic, so I'm thinking about re-releasing that. It's just a song that I hold close to my heart, and obviously my parents are super influential in my life, so I'd like to re-release that. So,
tell me about the fam. Are you the youngest?
I am the oldest of it's just me and my brother. I have a big little brother. He's like 6'6".
Where if you mess up, he kicks the crap out of you.
Not anymore. No, I still got him. I still got on in that category.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a great kid. Like I said, he just graduated from Alfred State.
Very cool.
Yes, sir. And he travels with us, which is definitely a plus, and love having him with us. And my parents, my dad, he actually restores vintage cars for a living. Vintage trucks. Cool. So yes, sir.
What's the coolest vehicle he's got?
I think the last one he just did, he just restored a Scout, an International Scout. I think it was an 80s model Scout.
Dude, you got to put that in the video.
It actually is in the video. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. It's coming out next. Actually, this Friday. It's coming out tomorrow.
Because that would be the perfect vehicle for that.
Yeah, it's in the video multiple times. So
cool.
Yes, sir.
Cool. How was it making the video? That was obviously your first one.
Yeah, actually. First like real produced one. I had like a small one that I had my buddy help with, and then actually this was the first real produced one. It was really cool. It's definitely different because I feel like on camera it's so hard to be like animated like that. You think you're going over the top, and then if you're not doing that, then you're like look like a dud. You know what I mean? So I think that was the hardest thing to overcome. Like I'm on camera and I'm like doing this.
I always wondered how when I see the music videos and. We have a Scottish band coming down. Now, look at this. There's all things. See, this is it's an experience tonight. Right, this is awesome. Now we got the Scottish band over here. But I see different artists, they're trying to be happy, trying like they're really doing the real thing. When it's like, all right, no, we got to do it over again. And, it's hard to stay in that frame of mind.
Yeah, I will say, I think like this music video is super authentic just because it was all my friends and family that were in it. Like my brother was in it. My best buddies were in it back home. And we were doing stuff that we normally do, riding ATVs and just cruising in the truck. And I think that we went on the boat in the video. So I think there was all things that I just do that naturally. So from that aspect, I think it was really easy to accomplish. And my buddy Ton back home in Florida, shout out to Ton. He did a great job with producing the video.
God, I love it. I love it.
Yes, sir.
It's so cool. So cool. What other vehicles does Dad have?
A lot of Scouts. He actually just bought a Peterbilt truck. 70s Peterbilt truck that he's looking to restore. So, yeah, he used to be in the heavy haul business when I was growing up. So he was in the heavy haul business. So he's always been around trucks. My grandfather, he was always big into the semis and stuff. So
that's cool.
That's always been in our family. So he actually just got one to restore. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, I know. Do you help him do all that?
Every once in a while. My brother's more mechanically inclined than I am. I'm not going to lie. But yes, sir. I go out there and help him when I can. Yes, sir.
It's awesome. Reese, I'm just reading. Oh, Shannon, by the way, from Grassroots.
Yep.
Loving the podcast at the stadium. Great night for baseball. Hi, Skip. Yeah. So this is only on one of my channels, but with them all together, there's plenty of people watching. And this is something we haven't done before. Here we can just give another little view of the ballpark.
Look at that.
So isn't that cool?
If we get a home run our way, I'm catching it. It's mine.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're right in the.
Let me just put it this way: we don't hit many homers.
That's what.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
Hey, we got great enthusiasm in the stadium, though.
We do.
Shout
We
out,
do.
shout out to the Syracuse Mets. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, it's the fans.
It is the fans.
Very
Yeah.
unique, very dedicated, very passionate.
Yeah,
they
and-
love country music.
There we go.
And a good example, I went up here to the bar a little bit ago to get a couple of waters, and young lady comes over, and we're talking, and I said, "Yeah, I'm going to interview a Nashville artist, country artist. Who's that?" And I go, "Reese." And she goes, "Reese from Florida?"
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's
That's
like,
awesome.
dude,
That's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, see, you know what that means already. You've got that footprint already.
Absolutely.
You got people beginning to follow you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
I know, and that's got to be such a good feeling.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And we'll have to get a picture after.
Yes, sir.
But I do want to say thank you. Thank you for coming by, and thank
you
you for
having me.
hanging out. And
Yes,
if somebody wanted to get a hold of your music, how can they do that?
Yeah, I'm on all streaming platforms at Reese, REECE, and then on social media, I'm on as Reese Gus Music, Reese with a C, GUS Music.
And the Gus is part of your real last name.
Yeah, my last name is Gustafson, but I that's why I just go by
I would
Reese.
never be able to say that right.
Exactly, that's why I just go by Reese.
Good move. Good
Yeah,
move.
yes, sir.
Absolutely. I keep mine short, Clark.
There you go. Yeah, that's all you need. Yeah.
And whether I'm here
Skip's a
or,
cool name, though. I wish my name was Skip. That's cool.
Okay.
It's a cool name. It's an awesome name.
It's me.
My brother's
That's
name
like
is just 2 letters. My brother's name is just TY.
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 For Tyler?
Nope, just Ty.
Just Ty.
We had to make it easy so he could spell it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. If you watch that, I'm kidding.
So no, are you kidding?
No, he's a smart kid. He's smarter than me in a lot of categories.
Is he following your footsteps with those degrees? Is he?
No, so he actually got his degree in diesel mechanics.
Oh wow.
Yep. So
now he can help Dad.
So he's helping Dad more
redo
than
the
I am.
Peterbilt.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But he's actually, like I said, he's traveling with us doing some music stuff. So I'm glad he's still doing that. So
cool.
But he got his piece of paper too, so I can always fall back on that. And
Awesome.
somebody needs to fix the bus if it breaks down. So
There you go.
yeah.
There you go. Oh, is Tammy your mom?
Tammy is my mom.
Love it, Reese.
She's
Love
the best.
mom. Oh, there it says. I don't know you, Tammy, but you've got a great son. Okay. And your husband's over there. I think he's sleeping on the picnic table.
No, he's watching. He's locked in right now.
Is he locked in watching us, or is he watching a movie?
He's got the delay on right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for him to turn around again, but he ain't gonna do that. But Reese, you made the trip. We thank you for making the trip to Syracuse.
Thank you for having me.
Like I said, Skip
This has been
Happens
awesome.
is an experience.
Yes, sir.
Just tell your friends about it too, because
Yes, sir.
Skip
Will do.
Happens is available for anybody at any time.
Yes, sir. I definitely will. This
Yeah.
has been awesome. I appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you coming by. If you're watching this, I want you to subscribe to Skip Happens. I want you to look Reese up on all his socials. Get the music, support
sir.
this artist. It's not easy. It's not easy. Staying independent. You're with Grassroots. Grassroots is the best.
The best.
I'm
They've
not
been
just
awesome to
saying
me.
that.
They've been awesome to me.
I know a lot of people in Nashville. I know a lot of really good promotions type people and companies.
Yes, sir.
Grassroots is right up there with the
sir.
others.
Yes, sir. They've been awesome to me, so I appreciate them.
Yep. And of course, Shannon was checking in earlier, so that's kind of
sir.
cool.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's
So
awesome.
and hopefully she'll tell. We got Nancy Tunick in the gang too.
Yep.
And But thank you for being here. Thank you
sir.
for making the trip. Skip
Appreciate
Happens. It's an experience.
Skip Happens. It is an experience.
Do you
This
see
has been
that?
awesome.
There's a sign behind me. I don't know. I'm going to try to point it to it. It says "Watch for
Thrown
or
batted
batted balls." And what are we doing? Our back is to the field.
Yeah, we're not listening to that sign right now. That's why we got the camera. It's a little wide. We can
Exactly.
catch it if we need it.
Yeah, try it. And maybe this little foul pole will
Yeah.
block it. But
Like you said, they're not hitting many out here today. So
it is a Mets game, but it is also the Skip Happens podcast. Support Reese. Follow Reese.
Appreciate
Do
that.
what you got to do. He's here in Syracuse. He's going to be leaving. He's heading back home here in a little bit. But appreciate you making the trip.
Thank
and
you so
thank
much
you
for having me.
being on Skip Happens.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Don't forget to subscribe. Maybe I got to. There you go. They don't want to see.